over here the Cumberland Village, where each one teach one brick, one building, one block at a time. And as we often say, people don't care how much you know until they don't let you care. And we show that we care about the things that we do. And it's not what you do, but it's also how you do what you do. And today I would like to talk a little bit about, once again, obligations, responsibilities. And here lately, if you notice, I've been talking a lot about that. And the reason for it, my father said at one time there at the church, they brought a message, and the people asked him, he was preaching about a subject, and I won't say that subject right now, but it was a subject in particular. And he said the congregation asked him, say, here lately, almost every Sunday, you preach about the same subject. He said, why don't you preach about something else? He said, well, I keep preaching that same subject because you're still in the same place. He said, once you stop doing what you're doing, and then I can start preaching about something else. He said, so until you get it, I have to keep teaching it. So sometimes, just like in the process of learning things, you keep repeating yourself and keep doing it over and over until you get it right. So I've witnessed an experience here lately. I've been talking to a lot of different people, young people, married people, couples, and what have you. And it's not nothing that I just set out to do just because I want to do it, but it just seemed to find me. People want to talk to me about certain things and answer me questions about things, and I also see a lot of different things. And being responsible, in a relationship, in a marriage, excuse me, in a marriage or whatever, even on your job, I talked about, doing a job and the kind of person that you want to work for you, someone that's dependable. But as well, being responsible, I was thinking about bills and how a lot of us approach bills. Now, me, myself, and I don't claim to be a professional. I don't know everything, but I've learned a process and something that I do myself. What I do, I make sure I check the mail every day and I check my bills. And I know I have a light bill, a water bill, and a gas bill. I have house note, my mortgage I had to pay. I had to pay the insurance. I have a cell phone bill as well. I have to pay the insurance and stuff, along with my mortgage. And I also have life insurance for the family. So what I do every month, I used to have a notepad and I have all the bills listed. And, I'm not telling you to do it like that. Some of us don't have to do it. That we, have our own little system. But whatever works for you. And what I would find myself doing, I would list all my bills and the dates that they were due on, and I would list them in order. And when I do that, as a bill comes, let's say I had one coming on the 8th of the month, I had another one coming on the 12th of the month, I had one coming on the 19th, the 17th, the 22nd, the 24th, the 14th, different days. So, and as I pay them, I would write down the amount that I paid, and I would mark paid on the side of it. Or I would already have the amount written down, and I would mark paid. And in my relationship, what we do is we communicate, my wife and I. I let her know it's very important. Communication is very important in any kind of relationship, even on your job. I mean, your workplace, your girlfriend, boyfriend, wife, husband, whatever. Communication. You have to communicate with one another, and you have to do what's in your best interest. And your bills definitely in your best interest, because if you own a home or you renting, or whatever you're doing, leasing, have a room, or whatever, you have to pay your bills. Because if you don't, after a while, you won't have to worry about a bill because you either won't have nowhere to live or stay or whatever, or end up getting put out or wherever you're at. But it's important that you you and your partner is on the same page, that you approach things the right way and have that understanding. Look, honey, look, baby, whatever you are, John, Joseph, Sally, whoever, excuse me, whoever you're dealing with, this is what we need to do. This is how we need to go about doing it. We have an income, we get paid bi-weekly or we get paid every week. We need to take this much money. Some people use one account for everything. And what I'm saying to you is if that works for you, then fine. But if that's not working for you, in some cases, a man or a woman, and it don't always just have to be a woman, and it don't always just have to be a man. It could be one or the other. And what they'll find themselves doing is they have one account, and both of them have what that the credit card, or credit or debit, or they have the debit card from their bank, and they only got one account, and the money is all of the money is in that one account, and it may be the husband paying the bills, and it may be the wife. But let's just say it's one or the other. Let's say it's the husband that's paying the bills, and as he's paying bills, and the wife has the card, and she's also spending money. She's out shopping, buying, and doing stuff that she figures she needs. Or, not saying you purposely wasting, but just that you call yourself doing what you think that you need to do. But remember, your obligations, your responsibilities, those are the things that comes first. Those bills, because if you don't pay them, the light gonna get turned off, or the gas, or the water, or the phone. And if you don't pay your mortgage, your house note, after a period of time, you're gonna be put out. So if the man is paying the bills and the wife is splurging, that's not too good, because sometimes you end up with a bounce check, or the bill not getting paid because it's not enough money in that account, or the wife is paying the bill and the husband is doing that. So what I'm saying is you have to communicate with one another. Let each other know what you're doing at all times, every month. And just a suggestion, and I'm not trying to tell no one what to do or how to do it, but whatever works for you. And what I would suggest doing is having two accounts. I would have an account for the bills, an account that we can spend out of at leisure. And what I mean by that, spend at leisure, is after we have the monies that that we have that we can spend at leisure, we have that money in the play money. I'll just say that you can go and buy food or go out to dinner with. You use that account for that, the debit card for that. And then you have another account that you use that all your bills come out of it. So that way, you know how much you put the money in there, it covers pretty much everything and a little bit over. My suggestion that you have a little bit over, so that if anything come up, always have enough to take care of what needs to be taken care of. And you and her both know, and she knows that she can't mess with that, and you know that you can't mess with that. But you also have that account that you have over, especially for splurging, having fun or going out to dinner or doing, that random spending money. So as long as you have that understanding and be able to communicate with one another, and as well, moving right along from that, it's very important that in relationships that each other know where the other one is. And what I mean by that it's important that you let your spouse, wife, girlfriend know how you feel about them, what they mean to you, how important they are to you. I often myself, that's my wife knows how important she is to me. I let her know that she's the best thing that ever happened to me, much to God. And she and I both know where we are. We focus on our obligations, our responsibilities, and we believe in loving our family, our children, and we do what we need to do. We go out to dinner and stuff every now and then, but then that's when we can afford it. We buy little things, for ourselves, treat ourselves to different things at different times. That's when we can afford it. But we don't just do stuff just to be doing it. We don't spend money just to be spending it. And I've heard people say at one time their husband or their wife is making all of this money so they don't have a problem with spending it. I say there's no problem in spending the money, but you have to spend it wisely. You just can't misuse. I tell people friends and money and stuff like that is to be used, not misused. It's not what you do, it's how you do what you do. And like I say, keep saying and keep repeating. It's very important to be open, to communicate with one another, and let each other know where you are, what you're doing, what you want to do. And make sure that both parties are satisfied. It's not all about me. It's not all about you. It's about us. So today, hopefully, I said something that would encourage you, to help you, to give you something to think about, to give you another way of looking at things. You don't have to look at it the way I do it or the way I mentioned about looking at it or even spoke about, but you can figure out a way to make it work for you. Thank you for listening to John Beverly, the businessman with the conscience. Remember, coming from you, from the human lines from each one, each one teaches one bread, one building, one block. And as we often say, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And we show that by the things that we do. Thank you and have a great day.